So very often on this channel, we talk about red flags. We talk about certain behaviors that men tend to display that you need to pay attention to and you need to be careful with. In today's video, however, I want to do the complete opposite of that. I want to give you some 5 clear indicators that he's really into you. And be even going further than that, 5 indicators that he is wrapped around your finger in the good way, right? Not in the toxic type of relationship type of way. Now, a lot of you would think that, hey, the best way to find out is you hear him say, I like you, or I love you, or I really want to build a relationship with you, right? And I always say the exact same things. Ladies, pay attention to actions way more than you do to words. You see, words are very easy to fake. Some people tell you what you want to hear because one, they either want to spare your feelings, so they just tell you things that they know is going to be easy for you to hear and accept. And two, some people just want to take advantage of you. So again, they're going to be telling you the things that you want to hear, that they know you want to hear in order to get what they want out of you. So instead of just, I'm not saying completely ignore when someone says, but instead of just paying attention to that or thinking that all you need to do is ask someone how they feel in order to really know and to decide how to act in the future accordingly, instead, pay attention to people's actions and even more importantly, pay attention to people's patterns, which are repeated behaviors. So in today's video, I want to talk about 5 patterns that you need to be paying attention to that are clear indicators, again, that you got him wrapped around your fingers. So good for you. Let's get right into it. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Lion and I talk about dating and relationships from a man's perspective. Now, if you haven't seen me anywhere, you can also check me out on some of my other platforms. You can check me out on Instagram. You can check me out on TikTok. YouTube is kind of my newest platform. So I really appreciate if you guys subscribe if you like this type of content, if you give me a thumbs up so I can grow this platform as well, just like we grew the other one. So without further ado, oh yeah, by the way, really quickly, if you're watching this video, I just want to say that it's being recorded today. I don't know when you're going to be watching this, but today is my birthday as I'm recording this. So if you want to just drop down a quick line and say happy birthday in the comments, I'd really appreciate it because I am looking for attention a little bit. So hey, let's get right into this video. So the first indicator that he's very much into you is that he spends his most valuable resource on you. You see, there's a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of distractions of what we need to be paying attention to, right? Did he post you on social media? Did he include you in his stories? Is he watching your stories all the time, right? Did he introduce you to his friends yet? Or like all of these tiny things, or maybe the wording that he used to describe you. There's a lot of things out there that we think matter to a certain extent. And these things, again, are like this noise that is always keeping us on our toes. We don't know if he's really into us or not into us, but if you're focused on this one indicator, I feel like for the most part, you'll already know if he's really into you. And that is, again, if he spends his most valuable resource on you. And his most valuable resource, the most valuable resource that we all have on this earth, the biggest equalizer on this earth is our time, because we all have a very limited amount of that. Money, some people have more, some people have less. A person could buy you a Chanel bag and it literally means absolutely nothing to them. And maybe they didn't even pick it for you. Maybe they just asked their assistant or secretary to do it for them. So maybe a $5,000 gift could mean nothing to someone, right? So money is not a really great indicator of that. Words, I like you, I love you, all of these things could be faked, but the one very clear sign that someone is really into you, that someone appreciates you, that someone likes you, that someone wants to spend time with you is the fact that they are spending their time on you. So what does that really look like? That looks like he's trying to get you on physical dates and see you in person on a regular basis. So at least once a week, he proposes to see you somewhere out and about and do something with you. So this is not just like, hey, come over and we'll just Netflix and chill and we order some pizza, but at least once a week, he wants to go out to the movies, to dinner, to a coffee, to just a walk in the park, to walk your dogs, but just wants to do stuff with you outside, an activity that allows you guys to really, have a conversation and get to know one another. So the second one has a lot to do with that typical male biology and that male-female type of dynamic, right? But pay attention to whether or not he tries to protect you. So what does that look like in real life situations? Whether you're walking down the street and he's going to kind of position his body in a way that protects you from whether other people, from traffic, cars, right? All of that stuff. Pay attention to that. Most men just do that subconsciously because we want to show up to you, right, as a protector. Actual physical situations are a good indicator, but it doesn't even necessarily have to be physical. Let's say you mentioned to the person that you're dating that you hate when you finish work at a certain late hour of the night and you have to walk to the bus, and he automatically just proposes to pick you up, or he proposes to walk you home, or he proposes, you know what I mean, to be there when you finish, or he proposes some sort of a solution that would basically place him as your protector. It's a great indicator that he's really into you. All right, the next indicator is that he tries to solve your problems. Now, ladies, I know this is kind of a controversial one, and I understand for 100% that sometimes you just want to share things for the sake of sharing things. Sometimes you just want someone to listen to you talk. Sometimes you just want to get things off your chest and just share, right? But men, the way, again, we are wired, and that masculine and feminine dynamic, we want to solve your problems. One of the best feelings that a man can get throughout his life is to really feel useful, especially to women, right? Feel that we are making a difference in your life, that we are making your life better. If we're trying to do that, right, it's a great indicator that we're trying to stay in your life, that we're trying to be in your life, that we really like you. This is like a really easy way for you to really test his intentions in a way that doesn't make you look desperate, in a way that really just allows him to do the things that he already wants to do for you if he likes you. So if you just create a bit of a situation where he could be the Prince Charming, he could be there, the knight in shining armor, and save the day and save the situation, and he jumps on that opportunity and he performs and he does it and he shows you that he is dependable, he is wrapped around your finger. So you can create these little situations, or some of these situations could arise naturally, but if he's trying to solve your problems beyond the fact that he just listens to them, but he actually proposes real solutions. If he's trying to solve your problems, it's a good indicator that he's really into you. Number 4, and this one is a big one for me specifically. As I was writing the script for today's video and I was thinking of these things, and I've kind of like put myself in that position, and I asked myself, what are some of the things that I really believe that I have done within my life with people that I really, really cared about, with people that are close to me even to this day? Well, what have I done differently with them that I haven't done with anyone else? And this one always came back. If a guy confides in you, and if a guy shares some of his struggles. You see, this is something that men are conditioned not to share very much, not to talk about very much. Men don't go out there for the most part and share some of their struggles, some of their fears, some of their insecurities. We tend to keep it all within ourselves. We tend to want to solve these issues by ourselves. And if we do confine within someone, these are very few people in our lives that we can do that with. Right? It's maybe our parents, maybe our best friends, maybe our siblings, right? But it really doesn't go a lot beyond that. So if you are a woman that he decides to confide in, and he shares some of his struggles, maybe struggles at work, maybe certain financial struggles, maybe certain issues that he has with his own fears, his own insecurities, and he decides to sit down with you, right, and share some of these issues and maybe get your opinion on these things, right? Beyond the fact that it's a good indicator that he really respects you and that he really thinks that you're intelligent, smart, and that he wants your opinion, but it's also a great indicator that he feels that he could be vulnerable with you, which is huge for men, because this is not something that we tend to do with a whole lot of people. So if he has chosen you to be that person for him, there's a great, great, great chance that he's really into you. All right, last but not least, this is probably one of my favorite topics: boundaries. A guy who's really into you, a guy who, again, into you in a sense that he wants to build a relationship with you, that he wants to build a life with you potentially, right? And he sees you as a long-term partner versus just someone that he is attracted to physically and maybe wants to explore that physical aspect of your relationship, right? Someone who is really into you is going to find your boundaries extremely attractive, right? And this is a huge difference between someone who, again, is just into your body or just finds you hot and wants to potentially hook up with you versus someone that wants to build a relationship with you and potentially build a life with you. And that is how he finds and how he responds and reacts to your boundaries. You see, someone who just wants you for a quick night, someone who just wants to have fun with you, is really not going to care very much about your boundaries. They're really not going to be into waiting too long for certain things. They really don't care about making sure that they align with you long term. And they want to show you that they're patient and they're there for the long haul. You see, someone who just wants a good time is probably not going to want to take a lot of time in order to get that. So if someone that you're getting to know finds your boundaries extremely attractive, if they communicate that verbally, or if they are investing in you continuously and they're investing you even more every time they hit a certain boundary. So for example, if you're there on the first date and they go for a kiss and you tell them that you appreciate the gesture and you tell them that you maybe even would want to engage in this type of interaction with them right now, but you have certain boundaries, right? And that you are going to take the time until you get to know each other a little bit better. A guy who wants to continue getting to know you, a guy who potentially starts looking at you as that potential relationship material, right? Is going to come back even stronger in a sense that he's going to want to continue investing in you. He's going to schedule the next date. He's going to call you and text you more often. He's going to want to see you more, right? As long as you communicate that the right way, and I have a bunch of other content where I explain how to communicate that, right? Boundaries is a huge subject. And understanding how to navigate, communicate, how to have consequences to boundaries is extremely important. And I have a lot of that stuff in my courses and my coaching programs. But if you communicate it the right way, he's going to come back with even more investment. He's going to want to invest in you even more because he sees these boundaries. Because these boundaries indicate that you're a person that knows her value, her worth, that you're probably a person that's not out there hooking up with a whole bunch of dudes either, which is, again, something that all men are looking for in these long-term relationships, right? A person who has boundaries, a person who has self-control and discipline, a person that's not out there hooking up with a whole bunch of guys all the time. So having boundaries is going to be simultaneously very, very attractive to the quote unquote right type of guys, the type of guys that you want to attract for the long haul. And they're also going to have the complete opposite effect for people who just want to take advantage of you, right? A person that just wanted to have fun with you, a person who just wanted to maybe sleep with you that very night, and then you basically stop them and you communicated certain boundaries, probably is not going to continue putting very much effort, if not completely drop off and stop reaching out to you altogether. So this is, again, a great indicator between people who are there for the long haul and people who just potentially just want something out of you really quickly. And ladies, one more time, pay attention to patterns more than you pay attention to individual occurrences or instances. You see, if someone displays any of these things that one time, but then display a whole bunch of red flags that tend to contradict these things, don't just say to yourself, yeah, but he did do that one thing that you've mentioned, Lion, that one time. Pay attention to patterns. Pay attention to repeated behaviors. Hopefully you find this video helpful. Let me know in the comments what resonated with you most. What kind of behaviors have you seen or not seen with your recent dating situations? Now, it's also very important to mention that there are definitely things that you could be actively doing in dating situations that would encourage all of these types of behaviors from men. And I'm going to link a video right here. Watch it next. I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.